Dylan Raiola. Now, Nebraska, they didn't have a spring game, but in regards to spring propaganda, they gave us some good stuff from the Husker games. Check out this clip. Dylan Raiola, this is the most spring propaganda clip you'll see on this show. Dylan Raiola, 50 yards, splash. Banks open, don't care. Don't need it. We're going to go ahead and go nothing but net. Little silly with your Corey Barney. Yeah, we're not out here in pads. No rush. 50 yards and just nothing but net to me is impressive in and of itself. This is hilarious. This is the most, again, I told you before, this is the most spring propaganda clip of spring propagandas that we will show on this show, which is saying something for us. We'll unpack that throw. We'll unpack what it means right now. Before we do that, told you all before the show started, we're presented by our friends over at Culver's. If you watched the draft, Andy and Ari, they were at the draft, bringing you just fire interviews from Matthew Golden to Maxwell Harrison. So go check this out on the On3 YouTube channel. But if you're a Nebraska fan, quick Google search suggests there is not one, not two, but three, probably 3+ I would have to imagine, Culver's in your drivable distance. Go ahead and lock in with Culver's, man. Born in Wisconsin, Culver's is the home of the legendary Butterburger, fresh frozen custard, and Wisconsin cheese curds. There's no better rep of America's Dairyland than that. So we had a great weekend this past weekend with Culver's at the draft with Andy and Ari. We appreciate Culver's bringing the hard count today. Go ahead and lock in with them. A lot of good stuff. Get you a little fresh frozen custard to everyone out there in Lincoln as things hopefully now start to warm up just a little bit. So appreciate Culver's. Have to imagine though, there was a lot of Culver's being handed out in the Nebraska locker room after Dylan Raiola hit that one. It's a weak bridge, but we'll roll with it. The bottom line here is, while that clip is hilarious and it doesn't actually mean anything for what they're going to be in 2025, this clip is a lot like checking the forecast for the 4th of July as we sit here in April. It's just good to see. Like there's no guarantee it's going to be 91 degrees and no clouds in the sky the 4th of July, when that rolls around. But right now, just to see it on the forecast, yeah, I'm a fan of that. I'm going to never say no to that. I think there's also, as we look to what Dylan Raiola is going to be in 2025, I think that it's interesting to note where he is right now to where he is, or where he was a year ago, where Nebraska was a year ago. Because you felt good about the receiver room. You were optimistic about the offense, and for good reason. I mean, spring is for optimism, but right now there's a lot more, I think, certainty. Like Dana Holgorsen, the way they finished the year last year, that's what they're going to be, but even a more refined version of that offense. Like Dana Holgorsen speaks quarterback fluently, and he was working with what Nebraska was offensively a year ago and trying to mold it to his system. It's his system now. He knows how to elevate Dylan Gabriel, and you saw that towards the end of the year. Also the receiver room, the way they've elevated that position. That's pretty much been the story of spring ball for Nebraska. You keep checking in with Sean Callahan and Husker Online, and they just keep saying, hey, a lot of good stuff. Receiver room, though, taking up a few notches. We mentioned USC's defense a lot on this show in relation to how they've made lifestyle changes. When they brought in Danton Lynn as the DC, the thought was, okay, they are committing now to doing things the right way. It's no more trend. It's no more diet. It is like, no, this is who we are now. New Year's resolution, we play defense. I think the same thing can be said for Nebraska as an offense. We are going to throw the football. That's our lifestyle change. New Year's Eve, groceries are stocked up. You got chicken breast. You got kale. Got the running shoes on. Got the motivational quote as the screensaver for when that alarm goes off at 5 a.m. You're committing to this. You're all about it. Now the question is, can Dylan Raiola follow through and maximize all that? That's the big question I have. Because if it doesn't work, it's not that there's not other things around them to still salvage the season, but like you've, in a lot of ways, I think, committed to this new identity of Nebraska football in a certain sense. There's no U-turn you're hitting here in October and having success and still getting to where you want to get to. Like last year, you ended the bowl drought. This year, it's about going in and winning something. It's not about going to win a bowl game this year. It's about, hey, can we find ourselves in Indy? And to be real, you look at the schedule, it's a pretty reasonable schedule. Like you got Cincinnati, okay. Non-conference, got it. Akron, Houston Christian, got it. Like, the month of October for Nebraska, that should be 4 wins, up and down. I don't see Ohio State on the schedule. No Oregon on the schedule. Like, yeah, USC, okay, you get them at home. Got to come to Lincoln in November. All right, I'll take that. Like there's a lot there for Nebraska to where I think it's very workable. I think it's very realistic to say if they do what they're supposed to do and they actually take that next step, if Dylan Raiola takes that next step, they could be that team that's in the hunt in November to go play for a Big Ten title. They could be this year's Indiana from what last year was for the Hoosiers. And that's not me knocking the Hoosiers, not me knocking Nebraska. It's just kind of the way this whole thing is shaken out. And so I spoke to taking the next step. People talk about quarterbacks their second year. Can they take the leap? Can they make that jump? And while I hear all that and I understand what they mean by that, I don't need a leap from Dylan Raiola. I need a hop. I don't need you to stick with this metaphor of changing your lifestyle and the fitness thing around what Nebraska is. I don't need Dylan Raiola and Nebraska as a passing game to transform into this bodybuilder Mr. Universe kind of situation. Can we just look good at the beach shirtless, dude? Can we just get a little bit better to where we're able to push the ball downfield and make teams consistently have to worry about that? Because a Matt Rule defense in year 3 should be in a good spot. Matt Rule run game in year 3 should be in a good spot. I think overall now, there's a lot to be excited about for Nebraska because of how they've continued to be Dylan Raiola committed. And in that way, man, there's a lot there that should and I think does get you excited. The 50-yard throw, nothing but net, yeah, it's hilarious to talk about as a reason for optimism, but if he's continuing to elevate and make throws like that during the fall and we can have a receiver on the other end there, that would be a good thing. You'd score more points, and more points would equate to more wins with how I think Nebraska's going to play defense here in 2025. So, yeah, it's spring propaganda. No, it doesn't mean anything. Are we excited about it, though? Absolutely. And we make no apologies for it.